Watch this. I'm on the GitHub profile of the man who created Linux. Now I add 5 characters to the web address .keys. And there they are. His actual public SSH keys in plain text. That's not a hack. GitHub does this on purpose, and almost nobody knows it exists. Here's the deal. GitHub's URLs have cheat codes. Type the right thing into the address bar, and the site unlocks features you have never seen. A while back, I showed you 13 domain swaps. Today, we finish the job. The complete edition, 26 URL tricks, counted on screen as we go. First, a 2-minute speedrun of the original 13. Then 13 brand new ones. And here's the twist. 7 of the new ones are built into GitHub itself. No tools, no extensions, nothing to install. 26 unlocks. Let's go. Quick thing before the speedrun. The one idea that makes all of this work. Straight from part 1. Every single trick keeps the /owner/repo exactly where it is. You only change the domain in front of it. Same repo, a brand new superpower. So you're not learning 26 tools. You're learning one move 26 times. Part 1 has the full deep dives on the original 13. And the link is right below this video. Now the speedrun. The original 13. Rapid fire. The full deep dives live in part 1. Linked below. 1. On any repo, press the period key. Boom. Full Visual Studio Code Editor in your browser. 2. Same trick as a swap. github.dev. 3. Prefer the classic look. github1s.com. 4. gitdiagram.com. The whole repository becomes an interactive architecture diagram. Click a box, jump to the code. 5. gitingest.com. The entire codebase flattened into one clean message you can paste into any AI tokens counted. 6. The same tool as a command line, so you can pipe a repo straight into a prompt. 7. gitmcp.io. The repo becomes a live server your AI assistant plugs into, and the hallucinated code stops. Keep up. 6 more. 8. deepwiki.com. A full auto-generated wiki for the repo, with a box where you literally ask the codebase questions in plain English. 9. github.gg. A control panel with a security scan and a code quality score. 10. stackblitz.com. The project boots up and runs in your browser. No clone, no install. 11. bolt.new. The whole repo imported into an AI builder with an agent standing by to edit it. 12. star-history.com. The momentum graph. A lie detector for open source hype. 13. gitpodcast.com. The repository becomes an actual 2-host podcast. That's the recap. 13 unlocked in 2 minutes, and I rechecked every single one this morning. All 13 still work. Now the new 13. And the next 7 need no tools at all. Tools at. Act 1. 7 cheat codes built into GitHub itself. These work today. They'll work in 5 years. And no startup shutting down can take them from you. Trick 14. The one from the cold open. Take any GitHub username, add .keys to the end of the URL, and you get their public SSH keys as plain text. Add .gpg instead, and you get their GPG keys. Why does this exist? Because it's genuinely useful. This is how server admins grant access. Instead of asking a teammate to email you a key file, you pull their keys straight from GitHub and authorize their laptop on your server, one line. And before anyone panics, this is safe by design. SSH public keys are meant to be public. The private half never leaves your machine. So the move. Next time someone needs access to a box, github.com/their username Keys, copy, done. Trick 15 is the one I personally use the most. The time machine. You come back to a fast moving repo after a month away and you want one answer. What changed? So you type this into the URL. The repo slash compare slash main at curly brace 1 month curly brace main. On older repos, swap main for master. And GitHub shows you a diff of everything that happened in the last month. Every commit, every file, one page. Change 1 month to 1 week or to an exact date. It's a search through time built into the URL bar. And hold that thought because 2 tricks from now, I'll show you how to feed this entire page into an AI and turn a month of catching up into 90 seconds. Trick 16. The truth detector. Stars can be bought, botted, and hyped. Here's the number that can't lie. Take any library on GitHub and add /network/dependence to the URL. GitHub shows you every public repository that actually depends on this project. Not who clapped, who committed. Look at React. Tens of millions of repositories depend on it. Now, look at the shiny new framework with 50,000 stars. Check its dependence. If it's a few hundred, you know exactly how much of that hype is real. So before you bet your project or your job on a dependency, run the 30-second background check. Dependence first, stars second. Trick 17. Dot patch. Take any commit page on GitHub, add dot patch to the URL, and the pretty web page turns into raw text. The complete change. Machine readable. Ready to copy. It works on pull requests too. Any PR.patch and the entire proposed change becomes one document. Why should you care? Because this is the cleanest way on earth to feed a change to an AI. Don't screenshot a diff. Don't copy files one at a time. Dot patch, copy, paste into Claude and ask, review this change. What could break? And yes, it chains with the time machine. Add dot patch to that compare URL from trick 15 and the entire month of changes becomes one raw diff you can hand to an AI to summarize. If you want just the code without the metadata, use .diff instead. 2 suffixes, and every change on GitHub becomes AI food. Trick 18. Turn any repo into a subscription. Add .atom to a repo's commits URL, and you get a live feed of every new commit. Use releases .atom instead, and the feed fires only when a new version ships. It even works on people. A username plus .atom is a feed of everything that developer does in public. Drop any of these into an RSS reader or pipe them into a Slack channel and you've built a free monitoring system. No service required. Here's the setup I actually recommend. Take the 5 projects your product depends on. Subscribe to their releases, .atom feeds. And you will never again find out about a breaking change from a production incident. 5 minutes of setup. Permanent radar. Trick 19. Get the code without git. Take any repo and add /archive/refs/heads/main.zip to the URL. The entire repository downloads as a zip file. No clone, no git installed, works in any browser, even on a locked down work machine. But here's the upgrade almost nobody knows. Sometimes you don't want the whole repo. You want one folder, the examples folder, one component. So copy that folder's URL, go to download-directory.github.io, paste it in, and it zips just that folder for you. The days of cloning 300 megabytes to get one file are over. Trick 20. Receipts. Click any line number in a file on GitHub and watch the URL. It picks up hash, L, and the number. Now hold Shift and click a second line. and the URL becomes hash L10 dash L20. That's a link that opens the file with exactly those lines highlighted. This is how you point a teammate at the line, not it's somewhere in auth.js, the line. Now the catch. On README files, GitHub shows the pretty rendered version, so there are no line numbers to click. The cheat code, add question mark plain equals 1 to the URL. The file flips to raw text, line numbers come back, and it's deep linkable again. In code reviews, in bug reports, in Slack arguments, the person who links the exact line wins. Secret level 20 codes down, 6 to go. And this checkpoint has one cheat code of its own. Real talk. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. And if this video already earned its keep, there's a join button on YouTube too. Members keep this channel independent. Checkpoint saved. Act 2. The new swaps. Act 2. 6 domain swaps that didn't exist or weren't ready when I made part 1. And trick 21 is the most beautiful thing in this entire video. Open any file on GitHub. Change github.com to github.githistory.xyz and the file's whole life plays back as an animation. Every version it has ever been, morphing into the next, like a time lapse of the code being written. Watch a README grow from 3 lines to 300. Watch a function get born, get bloated, and get refactored down to nothing. You'll use it to understand why a file looks the way it does, by watching how it got there. And then you'll send it to a developer friend, because it's the closest thing to time travel that code has. Tricks 22 and 23 together, because they're GitHub's own answer to I want to work on this right now. First, take any repo and change the domain to codespaces.new. That's it. GitHub spins up a full cloud development machine for that repo. Real Visual Studio Code, a real terminal, dependencies installing, running on GitHub's hardware, inside your browser tab. Personal accounts get free hours every month. Second, vscode.dev/github/the repo. This one is lighter. No cloud machine, just the real VS Code editor, loaded instantly with the repo. Extensions and settings included. It even runs on an iPad. And unlike the GitHub 1S trick from the Speedrun, this is the genuine article. Microsoft's own build. So here's the rule. Reading code, vscode.dev. Running code, codespaces.new. Both official, both free to start. Trick 24, pr.new. Put pr.new/ in front of any GitHub repo URL and it opens in CodeFlow, Stackblitz's web editor wired specifically for making pull requests. Here's why that matters. You see a typo in a project's docs. Normally, you'd fork, clone, branch, edit, commit, and push. 20 minutes of ceremony for a 1-character fix. So nobody bothers, and the typo lives forever. With pr.new, the repo opens in an editor that is already set up to turn your edit into a pull request. This is the lowest friction path that exists between I noticed a bug and I am an open source contributor. Your first pull request is one URL away. Trick 25, repo mix. This is the evolution of the git ingest trick from the Speedrun, and it has quietly become my default. Go to repomix.com and drop in any repo URL. It packs the entire codebase into one AI-ready file, but this time with real controls. Markdown or XML output. Include and exclude patterns, so you can say just the source code, skip the tests, and a token count so you know it fits your model before you paste. It even processes everything in your browser. When you outgrow the website, the same tool is a one-line command: npx repo mix. And here's the workflow that changed how I read code. Repo mix the repo. Paste the file into Claude or any AI assistant you use. Then ask, explain this code base to me like I'm the new hire. 20 minutes later, you talk about that project like you've worked on it for a year. And trick 26, the final unlock. ossinsight.io/analyze/the repo. This is the full X-ray, where star history gives you one chart. This gives you the whole dashboard. Stars over time, sure, but also pull request velocity. How fast issues get answered. Who actually maintains the project? Which companies contribute? Whether the community is growing or quietly leaving. And the killer feature. It compares two repositories side by side. Choosing between two frameworks, put them both in and watch one of them quietly lose. Before your next which library should we use meeting, bring this page. Arguments end fast when the data is on screen. 26 unlocked. Now the 2 minutes that make it stick, because nobody remembers 26 things, and I'd rather you actually use 5. My honest tier list from the new 13. Daily drivers, 3. Dot patch for feeding changes to AI. The time machine compare. And repo mix. Burn those into muscle memory. Weekly, 2. The releases, dot atom radar, and the dependence check before you adopt anything. Situational but brilliant. Code spaces, pr.new, and OSS Insight when a real decision is on the table. And the show off tier. Dot keys and git history. Pure joy. Use them tonight. One safety note, and it matters. The native tricks, the suffixes, and the parameters are GitHub itself. They even work on your own private repos while you're signed in. The domain swaps are third-party websites. Treat those as public code only, and never paste private code into a tool you don't control. Learn the move, respect the walls. Here's how you keep all 26 without memorizing anything. I built the complete cheat code deck. One clean PDF. All 26 tricks from both videos, the exact URL pattern for each one, what it unlocks, and when to reach for it. Comment the word morph and I'll send it to you, free. If you're just getting started with AI coding tools, I've also written step-by-step beginner guides, links in the description. The deep dives on the original 13 live in part 1, linked right below. And I post quick AI moves like these every day on Instagram and Facebook, while the full builds live here on YouTube. Your homework is one URL. Take any repo you touch this week and run the time machine on it. /compare/main at 1 month ... main. Read what changed. That's cheat code 15. The other 25 are waiting in the deck. Morph. Go.